Legends of CHIMA was a LEGO theme which centers around a dozen different tribes of furries who try out drugs for the first time.
Only you knew what it felt like.
Just look before you get in a swim pool in future, okay?
Despite the fact that the sets were aimed at ages 7 to 14, there is still some not so PG dialogue.
Today, you stop acting like a little
CHIMA was populated by 22 groups of furry cults, including lions, gorillas, crocodiles, ravens, wolves, bats, spiders, and Elon Musk. All of these cults are desperate to get their hands on performance-enhancing drugs, but the Olympic Committee says no. To respond, Russia does it anyway, and starts World War III. Putin's sister is like, "Hey, take these hormone-enhancing drugs!" And then Putin is all like, "Oh, I hate everyone now." For those of you wondering, by the way, a furry, according to Google, is a subculture interested in anthropomorphic animal characters with human personalities and characteristics. Basically, people who dress like their pets and, well, yeah, you know. There's also a group of side characters who play no role other than to show the power of friendship or something. Yay! I just guessed the tiger! Now he can't breathe anymore! Of course, cross-teaming is not allowed, so Russia puts a swift end to that. Something rather interesting that most people don't know is that CHIMA actually has the largest LEGO set ever produced. The set was the grand prize for the Legends of CHIMA competition back in 2015. It came with 10,004 pieces, a lighter, and some gasoline, so that you could burn your eyes out at just how bad the minifigures were. So with all of that out of the way, where is CHIMA now? Well, they were so down with the kids and hip and cool that they knew how much we all love video games, and released this masterpiece, which after 5 years, I still get Vietnam flashbacks just hearing that sound. And this wasn't the only game we got either. No. We also got Legends of CHIMA Online. Okay, yes, so I was going to make a joke about this game, but to be totally honest, it's actually such a cool looking game. When I tried to find an installation link for this game, I struggled terribly. I found some sites which said that they had the download link, but you know, I don't really fancy getting a virus protection pop up every 5 seconds, so you know. After many hours of research, it became abundantly clear to me that CHIMA has been massively overshadowed by Ninjago, which I mean, it's not really a bad thing. I mean, CHIMA doesn't really represent the LEGO Group in the best light, instead showing the LEGO Group as furry enthusiasts and advocates for marijuana legalization.
Only you knew what it felt like.
So then I hopped onto YouTube to see if there were any stragglers left, but to be honest, all I found was videos from a guy called King CHIMA, and I'm not so sure whether or not he's a LEGO channel or what he's really doing. My last hope of finding any CHIMA fans was on Discord. This Discord server that I found still had a pretty decent amount of people in it, and a surprisingly active community. It became very clear that those involved in the community had faced great adversity. One user stated that despite LEGO's continuous attempts to make us forget the franchise, we do everything possible to keep the fandom alive. It was also made very clear that nobody in the community had any plans of ceasing to enjoy what CHIMA has to offer. Whilst to many, CHIMA was a failed franchise, to these loyal fans, CHIMA was something legendary. All jokes aside, I am genuinely very profoundly moved by the LEGO community's diversity. A theme which lasted for around 2 years still has an active and close community over 5 years later. So why did the theme end then? Well, there were several lawsuits filed by animals who thought that the show was defamation, namely a lawsuit filed by Mr. Peabody, in which all chi was confiscated and an internal investigation was held by the Olympic Committee. China was found to have violated several safety restrictions, including a floating island and a giant hole in the ground. I mean, I don't really hate this theme. I did collect a couple of sets here and there, and I enjoyed it while it lasted. But as I began to grow up and acquire a more sarcastic and pessimistic outlook on life, it became abundantly clear to me that our childhood favourites weren't always as amazing as we remembered them. Whilst it's nice to have a certain nostalgia factor associated with some things, it's not always helpful when trying to achieve objectivity when looking back. We're all entitled to our opinion, and I respect that, but you must remember that I am also entitled to my opinion. So before you call me stupid or prick, just remember that I have a pool of chi in my garden, and I will wreck you.
Times when I can't find my room, I'm just sitting home.